Welcome back, boys. And I know I kind of left you on a little bit of a cliffhanger on the last one, but it'll be worth it. And today we are going to be working on FA project. I know you guys have been getting some videos of this thing now. Like I said, trying to do better now. I do have the real camera plugged in since this is a continuance of the last video, as you guys probably would know and understand. So I'm excited for today. I'm going to show you what we have for this FA project that's really going to get things going. So let's check it out. So now those of you that know FAs are going to get a good idea of what we got here. But what we have here is the Ibr Intake Manifold, and this thing is going to really spice things up. As you can see here, we got a real boy turbo, 6466, and we have a full ETS turbo kit. So here's our manifold there, and we have our dual wastegates here, Ibr's secondary shower injection fuel rails, a set of 1050X injectors, and I do have a front mount intercooler for this thing. So we have some titanium piping, which you guys will see here. This is a piece of it. The other one is over on the other side of the car over there. But titanium piping for it. And ETS 5-inch intercooler, because you know that's our favorite and what we're going to be using. So I have a 5-inch intercooler, full ETS front mount kit, ETS turbo kit. We have a Ibr secondary injector controller as well that we're going to be using. And like I said, we're really going to start spicing things up. Car is stock motor, guys. 2019 WRX engine, has 18,000 miles on it. This is a 2017 WRX that has 15,000 miles on it. So that way there's no confusion. We recently picked this thing up, as most of you know, for our shop development car. And that is just what it's going to be. I do plan on pushing the limits pretty far with the stock engine and with this setup here. Something happens, oh well, we'll then put one of our built engines in the car. But like I said, this is just a development car for us, for me, to further learn FA tuning, FA motors for you guys. Because I know that's a big thing. I know you guys have been pushing us for years because you've seen what good we've done with the EJs. Stock motors, built motors, the race car. But now, it's time for the FA boys. So we're going to get jumping right into this today, and I cannot be more excited to start playing with this setup and do my touch on it, guys. Make it clean up this engine bay, and get to venture something new. Because don't get me wrong, you guys know I love EJs, and I love everything we've done of them. But there comes a time when you've done things so many times, you get bored. So that's where I'm at now, and this is me having fun. Just as I was having fun with a stock motor in the RA, which she's still chilling here. She's just put away for the winter. Now let's have fun with a stock motor FA. How far will it go? Will we send rods to the moon? Break a Greenland? I don't know. Rod knock it? We'll see. Whatever happens, happens. But today, we need to get this thing torn apart. So let's get this thing up in the air, get these parts off, and let's see what we got to do to get these on. Now you guys know me, and I freaking hate stock turbo, so I cannot wait to get this old baby girl off here because I hate them. I just have this despise for stock turbos. You guys know I like big turbos. I'm definitely a believer that that is the reason why this car is staying together and all these stock motors are staying together, because they're not the quick spooling, low torque stock turbos. So super excited. I won't have to worry as much about these rods, but probably still gonna have to worry, obviously. We all know how weak these FA20 rods are, so we could be sunroofing a block here. Guess only one way to find out. Plus, I gotta learn how to tune it, so it's gonna be a fun adventure, guys. And you guys are coming along, good or bad. Whatever happens, happens. We'll learn from it. We'll grow from it. We'll keep going bigger. This thing ain't going nowhere. I told you guys we're gonna do it, and if we're gonna do it, we're jumping in. And so as I'm proving to you, I jump fully in for you guys to do this. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we got to get apart here today. Now for these FA20 cars, obviously the turbo's on the bottom of the engine, as most of you owners will already know. And we're going to have to start with, obviously, one, draining the coolant. to oil, I think I'm just going to plug the line right here that goes to this little reservoir that your oil from your turbo goes into, and then it has like a factory scavenging pump that pulls it up through here. So I think I'll just block that, so I'm going to drain oil, because obviously this oil has like 70 miles on it, 80 miles on it is all that this engine has since I put it in, and most of that's on the dyno. So we need to pull our ETS intake off. We have a new one that's going to be going on, and we, like I said, we got to pull off our coolant because we're going to drain the coolant. So we got to get our coolant lines off. We have an oil feed that goes over here, very straightforward. Once we get that done, we can get our blow valve, our charge pipe, that stuff all unhooked. We can get that out of there. We can get our J pipe off, which thank God this thing was already off when I got the car, because if you guys have one of these, you know how bad these bolts suck. So if you're just starting to work on a car, put a J pipe on it, I would highly suggest spraying your bolts and letting them sit for like 2 days, I swear, to be able to get these things out here. Unless you have a very low mileage unit, you might get lucky, but just a little bit of advice for someone that's just jumping into one of these. So this J pipe is going to be for sale. Any of you guys want this thing SRS catted J pipe? Obviously I'm not going to need that anymore. All the rest of the stuff is just going to go into a bin, and I'll just hang on to for I don't know what, but I like hoarding car parts, so I'll probably just hoard the parts. The ETS airbox, that's going to go up for sale. We're probably going to still need our boost controller, or we'll have to get a different style one, because that doesn't look like it's going to work on that new kit. I don't know. I got a lot to learn of it, so I'm going to jump right into this thing, get this torn apart. And it's only me, so I don't know how much I'm going to be able to record, but I'm going to try to record as much as I can for you guys. Okay guys, we've been working along, made some really good progress on this thing, and as you can see here, we have our turbo all mounted up, and the OEM unit is now off, and right there, that thing is just going to go in storage. So happy to have that little itty bitty baby turbo off. This thing will adjust the lighting here, which may or may not. No, of course it's not going to. Let me grab a good old light here. Yeah, look at how much of a baby that freaking wheel is in there. Tiny. Now we got the old big boy here, but everything is on. Header's all bolted on. External wastegates are all bolted on. I am going to switch out this housing tomorrow. I have a 105 housing. That's an 82 housing. You guys already know that I like the larger 105 housing, especially on a stock motor. So I'm going to switch that housing out tomorrow, and I'm still going to keep working on this thing tonight. I'm going to lower it down now, and I'm going to start working up top, because there's not much more I can do until I get that turbo mounted up, and obviously I can't do that because the housing is at the house. So I'm going to drop this thing down, and we're going to start tackling everything up top. So now moving to the top of the car, obviously what we're going to be starting on here is getting off this intake manifold, because we have our new Ibr intake manifold we need to get on, and it has the lower TGVs on it. So we need to get this off, and we need to get our lower TGV section off here, and then we can actually start putting this thing back together. So I'm going to start with just the basics. Obviously battery is disconnected. We're going to go ahead and take our fuel system off. From there we can start getting some of these vacuum lines undone, like the one to the brake booster there, and that runs over actually to this little vacuum pump, for those of you that are wondering what that is. And we can go through, get this thing all taken apart, get this off, so we can make room for the new one. Good morning guys, and I know it's been quite a while since we've been doing videos like this, and I've been trying to record them. As you guys have heard me mention, we've been having issues with the GoPros in the cold, and just honestly cold batteries in the cold. So these things were kept in the house before when we were doing the vlogging and we were doing outside work. I did notice obviously when they're outside they kind of drain faster, but I'm kind of learning with the shop. I can't leave them here in the cold and trust that they're going to work or be charged. So bear with me here. I'm going to do a quick overview of the shop and what's been going on. We finally have been able to work in the last week. It's been awesome. I know you guys have been seeing stuff with the WRX. You're going to see it sitting on the lift. We were back to customer work this week. We have changed our shop schedule since we moved in here and got started up. So we are now going to be open through the shop Tuesday through Saturday. I figured having a weekend day for customers is going to help out, especially for some of you that work Monday through Friday. So having that weekend day will help, especially whether it's working or doing the dyno tuning. And So we changed the schedule on that. So now Sunday we're closed. Monday is going to be appointment only. So we've been working on this thing on the weekend. Definitely been working on some stuff in the background. Got old Josh over here. So you guys will be pretty happy. I'm trying to bring Josh on. Try to get him going in here as you guys wanted. Obviously there's just a lot to take in when converting into full-on business. So we're in the transition, so bear with us. Josh is gonna be working today. We have a simple, this is like a head gasket job. Ended up having a timing pulley actually come apart on the scene at idle. So I think it bent valves, so we're gonna pull that thing off, get the heads rebuilt. That's in the background. It's gonna be Josh doing that. You guys can see we got this nice mat, so that's why Josh is working underneath the car until our other mats, which I forgot. I was gonna order those this morning. So that way we can get out here, get our benches in, which we're still working on getting, but now I wanna get those benches in. This is good old Anthony's motor. This is gonna be for Kittrick's old 14 STI, 13 STI, don't quote me. I know it's in one of those years. It's 2012 to 14 body style. Beautiful, low mileage, black STI over there. So what we have here is one of our stage 4 blocks. This is a closed deck, and we do have one of our stage 2 plus heads. And the reason why I say stage 2 plus is because Anthony opted for our race port and polish work. These have just BC 272s in them. Kind of a smaller cam for the setup. He originally was going to do an FP green, and as the car's been here, his priorities kind of changed and grew. So now he has a 6466 with a ETS rotate kit, ETS header. We did the fluid dampener yesterday on it, and I'm super excited to get that thing in the car, see that thing come together. We have a narrow body in here, which you really don't see too many of these around. This car is actually one of our customers from up past Seattle. This has another one of our stage 4 motors in it. This is a stock port head though, so this is our stage 2 cylinder head package, 272s, 6466 on this car. He brought this thing up so we can do the break-in tune on it. This has a bit larger fuel system, and we were having troubles with the e-tuning side of it, whether there was an issue with the car and how something was put together, or it was just being a pain in the butt. So he brought it up here. We're gonna get the break-in tune on it, start putting some miles on this thing. His power goals are just to start out. We're gonna probably make right around 580, 600 on the Mustang. So that'll be plenty of power for him to start out. Here is good old Anthony's car. RA sitting in the background. Dyno shop is full of cars as well. Side lot is full of cars. I'm gonna get going this morning, let Josh know what the plan is, and then once we're there, we'll kind of record for today, and I'll try to make a good video today for you guys. I'm gonna pull this thing out. This thing has a dead battery, and we're gonna fire this thing up, see exactly what's going on, see if I can dial in the idle on it, and I gotta pull a car off the dyno so we can get this thing on, and I can start cleaning up some drivability to get some miles on it. That's if we don't have any issues of it or have to fix anything, but that's gonna be the plan. So we're gonna get this thing out, get it started up, see how that goes. I'll show you guys. Josh is gonna get this thing tore apart so we can get these cylinder heads in. Another motor that's not over here is gonna be Devin's. I think we already wrapped his block already up, but Devin had the launch edition STI from Colorado that we're gonna be doing a build on, and he is doing a pretty similar setup to you just saw there in the narrow body and in Anthony's car here. I believe he is doing a stage 4 block as well. I believe he went with BC 280s. This is his short block here. That's all tore down now. We already got his cylinder heads ready to go in to get port work. I think he's doing stage 3 heads if I remember right. I'll have to take a look. Old WRX is waiting in the background, waiting on parts, unfortunately. She's kind of escalated quite a bit. It wasn't as intended yet. We went from a simple stage 2 setup to full out race car, because you know your boy gets a little antsy, but turbo sure does look good in there. So we won't be working on this thing probably come until the weekend. I already ordered all the parts for it. Everything's on the way, but we have enough customer work we got to do during the week. So this thing, you're probably not going to see some updates till most likely going to be Monday or Tuesday, since we're going to work on the weekend. I got to record and then upload it for you guys. So definitely stay tuned for that, because there's going to be more. Let's go ahead and open up this door. We're going to roll the car out, get this thing started. I got to get used to using this big old camera again, because she's a heavy girl. GoPros say, we don't like the cold. So this thing actually fired right up, no problem. So I think we dialed in the idle. I think he was just having troubles with the drivability on the car. So we will definitely be putting it on the dyno, cleaning that up. For now, I'm going to let this thing warm up. I'm going to connect to it, see how everything's doing, make any altercations or changes, but then we'll get this thing on the dyno and we'll start doing things. Good old trucks jumping her up. Man, it's a little bit cold out here today. So let me go ahead and get in here, pick up the laptop, and then I'll update you guys here a little bit later. Good morning, guys. And yesterday ended up taking more time than I had planned for Alex's narrow body, but we got that thing all dialed in. It is driving nice and smooth now. It seemed that it was catching a cold, or I should say a closed loop table for the TGVs. So I went ahead and addressed that. That's why it was kind of giving him some bucking. That's originally why I brought it here, is because we were working through it and it was kind of bucking when he was driving it. And at the time I just didn't see it or didn't look, I don't know. So I went ahead and corrected that. Then we have the red legacy outside. That thing's getting ready for its E-tune, guys. That thing is going to be partying on the dyno. I cannot wait. So you guys are going to see that. Today we have focus on Anthony's beautiful STI here. As you guys know, we are getting this motor together for it. So we have this thing ready to go in the car, and we're going to try to make some good progress on this thing today. Obviously it's not going to run today. We have a lot of other things we need to do, but definitely going to try to make some good progress with this thing today. Josh is running some cylinder heads in to get rebuilt. We have like a head gasket job here is kind of what we're calling it. I think I might have showed you guys, may or may not have. This one that had jump timing, so we have that going on right now. And today is probably going to be a garbage day because we're going to clean up all this stuff over here. Definitely the hard parts about shop. Trying to make sure everything gets done, stay clean, and I really want to get the tables or shelves, whatever you want, workbenches, probably a better term for them. So I definitely want to get those. Need to get more mats, a lot on the table. But today, like I said, we're going to try to get as far as we can with this thing here, and I want to get this engine in the car, and then from there we can start working on the fuel system that's going to go in the car, which we have a bunch of radium goodies for this thing. So we're going to be working on this today, guys. Let's go ahead and get this engine in the car, and I'll update you as soon as I get in there. So guys, I was meaning to update you as we continued on with the day and got busy, but Anthony has a motor in his car now. A lot of it is already set up, ready to go. You'll notice the turbo is obviously not on right now. Waiting on a couple pieces to come in from ETS. This was a rotated kit that Anthony bought for me, and it looks like I was missing a couple pieces. Whether they got put back on the gray or whatnot, I'm not sure. So I went ahead and ordered him the pieces he needed. Those will be here tomorrow, and then we can get this thing further going along this weekend. You guys, you know, the FA is sitting back there. No real time for personal projects during the week. And then we have a beautiful hatch in here that we are working on. Well, actually Josh is working on over here. He's getting the engine out. This one unfortunately suffered from a bearing failure, so he has a new block for this thing, and we're going to be doing, I don't think we're doing built heads on this one, are we? I think these are stock heads, to be honest. So it's going to get a built block, stock heads, Epi black. Pretty similar setup to most of the ones you've seen with us. This does have the little bit taller intake manifold. This actually would fit a 3-inch inlet. I'd like to try that, Josh. Let's see maybe if you could get one in there. I know that the air pump might be in the way, but I'd be curious to try something with that later on, because I do believe there is quite a bit more room here on that manifold. So it definitely gives it more room to breathe. So I'm excited to work with him on this project. We're a little bit ahead of schedule. This thing was supposed to have its motor out tomorrow, being Friday, today being Thursday. Josh has been killing it today, getting that knocked out, getting caught up. And then we got some Evil Boy projects. Ooh, yeah. Legacy went on the dyno tonight. I didn't get a chance to record. I will put a clip in here. That thing by far exceeded all my expectations and Josh's. Josh is feeling a little hurt over here.
Yeah, especially since I had the same setup, but built heads and it made less power.
He had a closed deck, ported, built heads with VC280s.
It was 103 degrees that day, so. It
was 103 degrees. His car made
25,
somewhere in there, 525 on the Mustang, and old Legacy just killed him.
Stock heads.
Stock case, no closed deck. 32 pounds, guys, and it made 544, and what was it? It was 520 torque. It was impressive.
That is impressive.
As FIC 1650s, has our Walbro 450 mod hanger in the car with an STI hanger, and that thing is at 90% injector duty cycle. We are at some power, guy. He's gonna shit himself.
I'm excited to see his reaction.
So he's coming tomorrow. Alfredo, I'm gonna put you on the channel again. We got to get his reaction because yeah, it's like 140 wheel gain of where he was. Yeah,
like
he's gonna shit himself.
Like a new turbo setup.
The trans is gonna shit itself.
Yeah.
He's definitely gonna be doing an STI trans upgrade. We were talking about that, guys, because it does have that split case 6-speed, which is technically like a 5-speed, and I don't know if she's gonna hold for a while. You know, it's all in how you treat something, but I mean, it's probably gonna get to a point where it's just gonna rip all the teeth off the gear. Right when that torque hits on the street.
Yeah.
Watch it happen on our first test drive.
On that dyno, yeah.
Dude, that's moving. Usually torque stays pretty much the same, dyno to dyno. Horsepower is the one that kind of changes. As we told you guys, I mean, 542 on there with our conservative 13% correction to dyno jet. That's 614 wheel, guys. That thing is making some jam, so I'm really excited for him, really excited for the project, and I will be putting that back on. But this is probably going to wrap this up here. Hopefully this isn't too long, dragged out video, and then I'll make the legacy one all his own tomorrow, so that way you guys get to see that and don't have to watch through this video just to see it. So this one's just going to be shop stuff. So that is what's going on. Josh, you ready to get this thing out?
Yep.
It's freaking snowing outside.
I know.
But it is 70 degrees in here.
Oh, it's nice in here, you would never know.
I'm in shorts weather. He's still got the pants attire.
Yeah.
T-shirt though.
I was sweating earlier.
That means that's
nice.
Progress. Progress,
nice
progress. So that's gonna wrap it up, guys. I'll see you in the next one.
Living life up in the fast lane. Hey. Living life up in the fast lane. And I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down. Living life up in the fast lane. Pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground. Living life up in the fast lane. Life, though you lemons, you just put them in Coronas, Coronas, Coronas. I've been working, I need that advance with the bonus, the bonus, the bonus. Ain't no thoughts about tomorrow, I'm just living in the moment, the moment, the moment. Full tank of gas and 200 on the dash, bitch, I'm zoning, I'm zoning, I'm zoning. Fast lane, living life up in the fast lane. Hey. Living life up in the fast lane. And I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down. Living life up in the fast lane. Pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground. Living